What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Cleaning Green Lawn Service in beautiful South Georgia. Hey, hope y'all having a great day today. I just got done helping JT at the college. He's still out there, but when it came time to weed eat edge and blow off, I left. Yeah, man. Left him with all the hard work to do. So, but that's good for him because I'm trying to, you know, let him get as many hours as he can. But especially this end of the year, and you know, not gonna be working a ton, I figured I'd let him try to get as much as he could. But the way our schedule fell this week, he needed to be off one day, and we actually had a full week. This is our last full week of mowing, and you know, he would have probably been out there. He would have been on the property for 10 hours, you know, and then having to drive to it and go fuel the lawnmowers up when he got done, and you know, just all of that stuff. It would have made a long day for him, and it would have put him definitely in overtime. I wanted to get his money, but not too much of that overtime, and that overtime's hard to pay. Whew, it cuts into that profit. So, you know, just got to be careful with that. So I come out and I mowed for, well, he got here before me, but I said, I ain't coming that early. But I ended up mowing about 2.5 hours, and he mowed probably 3.5. So he'll have a few hours and he'll get wrapped up there. I'm fixing to go by and get some diesel. I got my tractors. I'm afraid to run my tractor. I don't want it to run out of diesel, so I'm about to go by and grab 5 gallons of that and go home and play a little bit on the tractor. I got a couple things I need to do. And I've been doing some land work out here. I don't even know what's going in here, but been doing some work. So anyway, that's what we got going on. Not sure what we're gonna get into around the shop. Probably not gonna get too deep into anything, but I do want to get some I had to get me a new washing machine, and the old one's on my porch, so I need to go take the tractor up there and get it. My neighbor's got a few things. He wanted some stumps that have been cut off in his yard. I may put the graffle on and go up there and get those out of there for him or something, and probably just doing some cleaning up with the bucket around the shop mostly. So anyway, check back with y'all. I may have myself a mess here. We're gonna see. All right, so I decided to change out my charging coil myself. Well, I'm not a mechanic, and I didn't know it was under the flywheel. But now I got the flywheel tore off my mower. Look at this, man. I don't reckon that has anything to do with it. Just a bunch of dirt and stuff under there. But anyway, I don't know. I guess it's simple enough now that you just take these 4 screws out, run the plug out, I reckon. So let me get a screwdriver, see what happens. Other than a flywheel on a turbo 350 transmission, which was in all of those old Chevrolets, I've never taken the flywheel off of anything. And I might regret taking it off of here before it's over. So I guess I don't think I can get that plug through there. I guess I'm gonna have to take this little piece up right here to get that plug through. So anyway, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna clean it all up good. Remember not to take any mechanical advice from me, but I got the new one on, and all it is these 4 screws, Phillips screws here, and of course I put this guard back down. I had to get that wire under it. Looks pretty simple. The flywheel's got to go back where it went. I mean, it's on the keyway, so that shouldn't be an issue. That's one of the reasons I went ahead and pulled it. I did put a pry bar over the starter under the edge of the flywheel and just tapped the nut. But basically for this project, this is a Kawasaki FX850V. What I've used so far has been 11/16 socket and a 10mm socket, a Phillips screwdriver, and of course, like I said, a little pry bar right there. I went ahead and took everything off that was mounted to the cowling, like the oil cooler right here. I took the coils off of the top of the cover, these little coil packs. They just go under these little covers like this right here. So I just took that stuff loose from it. That way I didn't have to unplug wires. And so I just laid all that stuff back out of the way. Any wires that were pinned to the cowling, I just unsnapped the little retainers on them, took them loose, and I'll put them back. I do notice in my cover that I am missing a couple of bolts. Either, you know, somewhere or another they've gotten left out, or, you know, I don't know. If you're putting this back on and you get confused, the wire goes over here to where it runs through the wire trail. You just mount it right at it. That's the only place that your bolt holes will line up right. Now you could have the wire coming out in 4 different locations, but obviously standing at the front of the mower looking to the back of it, you want it on the far left hand side, at least on this one. Main thing is you need to look at yours when you take it off and make sure. So I'm gonna have to see if I can set this down right here maybe. I don't know, I may knock the camera around. Flywheel's pretty heavy, so I got to have 2 hands, and there it went right back down on the keyway. That washer, this was not super tight, but it having to use an extension on it, it did not want to come off with my 3/8 drive ratchet. So for some reason that just got tight there a little bit. All right, let me see what I got going on. I didn't think about it. I probably blew some dirt down in there when I was cleaning that off. But anyway, I don't know what the torque spec is on it. You can look that up. Again, it's one of those things. I just snugged it back down to how I felt like it was. And again, don't take any mechanical advice from me. So now I'm gonna set the cover back up here. Since I didn't show you me taking it apart, I'll try to give you a little bit of the I'll set the cover on and kind of show you you know, just around it. There's probably some great videos out here on how to do that. I just didn't take the time to look any of them up, so I'm sure you could find somebody with a much more detailed video than mine. While I got this apart, I went ahead and put some bolts in here because I got the clearance to do it as far as I can tell. I had these screws run through. If y'all remember, you can see how all that's ripped out. This is a terrible way that Hustler on this particular model secured the filter canister. It just ripped out, and so what I did a while back without taking it off is I run some sheet metal screws in here. I cut this bracket, put it on there, secured it to the cowling, and then secured this to that bracket because that's all tore out under there. So this time I put some 1/4" bolts in it. Those are nylock nuts, so I don't have to worry about them backing back off, hopefully. And since I had this off, I decided to go and do it. Now really what I probably should do is have me a plate built that goes under there, and I probably never have trouble with it again. But you know, this mower's already got 1,100 hours on it, so if I can do that and get it to 2,000, you know, that'll probably be about the life of it. Probably time for another engine then. So anyway, that's what I'm doing for now. So Unfortunately, my GoPro battery is about to die. There is one more tool that you need, a T30 Torx. That's what takes the grate off of the flywheel, and then this just mounts back over it. So you do have to take all that off. Let me show you a couple of things here real quick. So that's one. If you noticed, this is slotted. The hole up by the dipstick is slotted. This hole back here is not slotted, so you have to actually take that bolt out. You have to actually take this bolt out. There is also a ground wire under that bolt right there. And you got to take, if you leave the voltage regulator on, you got to take this off the starter, that ground, and then you got a bolt up here. This one's not slotted. So some of them are slotted, some of them aren't. So you don't have to actually take everything off. You can just kind of, you ought to be able to look at your cover and tell. The oil cooler has a little doubler bracket that goes behind it, so make sure you don't forget about it when you go to put it back on. I need to clean that out while I got it off here. But anyway, like I said, I don't have a whole lot of battery, so I'm not going to be able to get you much footage of this going back together. But it is a pretty simple change. If you had a flywheel puller, you know, when you start putting you know, it always gets dangerous when you start putting pressure on the flywheel and then you you know, start tapping on that. All I did is put the bolt down in the middle, got some pressure under it with a pry bar, and just tapped it. Didn't have to tap it super hard. Mine broke loose. Now, you know, if you got one been sitting out in the rain, all that kind of stuff, might be a little bit more involved. So anyway, like I said, my battery's about to die. We'll stick it on charge over here for a few minutes, get all this put back together, then we'll crank it up and see if it actually works. I mean, I don't know anything else it could be, but we'll see. Am I an idiot? That is the question at hand. Don't comment. Oh man, where did I throw that thing at? I got to talking to JT and I bet I threw it away. Oh well, I'm an idiot twice. Twice the idiot. All right, so I fixed this thing. Still, replace the part, still not charging. I am getting the correct AC voltage out of here, or I'm getting almost 40 volts of AC out of here, I think it was. And I'm getting what I'm supposed to get out of here. But still not charging. Let me show y'all what it was. Now I know y'all gonna say I'm an idiot. There's a 40 amp fuse in there that was not blown. So if you looked at it, it wasn't blown. And by that, I wish I could find it. Although, let me get one of these out. So you know on the fuse, what you're checking is you're looking through it, right? You could look through that one, but what I got to noticing, and it's a brown fuse, is it was black on this side and on that side. So you know what I did? Well, you don't have to guess, I'm fixing to tell you. I took my voltmeter and I did a continuity test. And guess what? There was no continuity. So the way this system works, you got your power comes out from under the flywheel, you're charging, it goes into the voltage regulator, from the voltage regulator to the fuse, and from the fuse to the starter, and from the starter, the big red cable, back to the battery. So everything was working until it got to the fuse. Now, and the fuse wasn't blown. Well, it was, but you couldn't see it. I had already checked all the fuses. JT had checked the fuses, but we did not do a continuity test on them. Dang, I should have kept that fuse, man. Why did I throw it? I think I walked out here and throwed it over in that trailer. And I don't want to dig all that junk out to get to it, or I may, who knows, man. I might do that thing on the ground. I really wish I could find it, though. I really should have kept it for all the heartache it caused me. Should have had that thing mounted or something. Anyway, don't look like I'm gonna find it. Not easily, anyway. If I did set it down here somewhere, I'll find it later and I'll put it in another video. All right, so good news is replace the fuse. I'm getting 13.8 volts now at the battery on the cables, which means it's charging. Now, I did tell y'all that I had checked this one time and I was getting the correct AC voltage I thought out of it, and then I checked it again and I wasn't. And I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe that charging coil was going bad. Doggone air compressor. Maybe the charging coil was going bad and it put too much voltage through and it blew the fuse. I don't know. I have no idea. What I do know is it's working now. I went up and mowed my grass, which 15 minutes. It's still working. I come back and checked it. So hopefully. So the moral of the story is, if you're having trouble with your AC, or your charging, I mean, you got a voltmeter. One of the things you can do to double check your fuses is you can put it right over here on this little ohm, right there, and see if you touch these together. Hear that sound? Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about on a fuse. Sorry about that compressor. There again, the one I had I checked that, I would have found out it was blown. Now, was that the whole problem? We don't know. Am I going to put these old parts back on there? No. The new ones are on it. Typically, you can't get a refund for electrical parts anyway from most places. I don't know if you can or not from the place I got these from. Now that it's been installed, not worrying about it. Not taking off. All right, for some reason my GoPro cut off at like 10%. So I got it plugged in over here talking to y'all real quick. So what I was saying a while ago is I do have two other engines that use that same voltage regulator, so there may be an opportunity to use it down the road if I have a problem. But anyway, that charging coil, there's no way I'm going to take a flywheel off and put that thing under there and hope it works. Not going to happen. So anyway, that's the deal. Let me go ahead and get off here. Appreciate y'all watching. My prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you and that you might see all of your blessings as from him.